Initial meeting of Governing Council. Overseer Perry started the meeting with a moment of silence for Russell Cass, who gave his life sealing the roof entrance where the water from the Charles River was flooding in. Perry noted that without Russell's sacrifice, none of us would be here today. Councilman Olson proposed, and the council approved, an additional moment of silence for the friends and family who did not make it to the vault in time. Councilwoman Snow then proceeded to give an update on the structural integrity of the vault. The former street entrance to the reception area appears to have sunk 10 feet below the storage room and is completely flooded. As best we can tell, the nuclear blast triggered an earthquake that shifted the course of the Charles River, burying the vault entrance completely underwater and turning the surrounding Norwood area into a swamp. With the exception of the reception room, the rest of the vault was built into solid rock and appears to have no structural damage. We will need to build an enclosure around the flooded area inside the vault door, as there is no practical method to drain the water. Councilman Naharis then provided an update on communications. We received confirmation of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania via television news and reports of several other detonations via radio. Then all communication cut off. Our antenna on the surface appears to have been knocked out. At this point, we have no communication with the outside world. We have to assume the worst. The council then discussed options for escaping the vault. A motion to dig out of the vault was voted down on account of the risk to structural integrity of the vault, exposing residents to radiation, and risk of looters on the surface raiding the food supply. A motion to invest additional personnel and resources into Vault-Tech's research on teleportation was approved. Inbreeding and social engineering. Councilwoman Lang began the meeting with a report on the vault population. Operation ARC was initiated in the weeks before Armageddon Day. Unfortunately, most invitations to pre-selected scientists, engineers, and researchers were ignored. The population of the vault is only 96 people, including 28 children, and there's approximately 230 to 250 years worth of food, assuming reasonable population growth projections. The magic number of people needed to avoid inbreeding and create a viable population for multi-generational vault occupancy has been calculated by researchers at 160 people. However, with some social engineering, it is possible to halve this to 80 people. We have no contact with the outside world, nor do we have a way to escape the vault at present. We and our offspring may be stuck here for centuries. To avoid inbreeding, we'll be forced to implement certain mating restrictions, including reproduction must be postponed to later in a woman's fertile period, at least age 34, to create longer time gaps between the generations. 2. Genetic screening will be required before mating between a given pair is allowed, in order to prevent offspring with any harmful recessive characteristics that might lead to increased healthcare loads and deplete scarce medical resources. 3. All pregnancies will require a test to prove paternity. 4. Additional children beyond 3 per female will require approval on a case-by-case basis. The penalties for violating the above restrictions will need to be severe and include forced termination of the pregnancy. Wow. After rigorous debate and discussion, the council voted to approve Lang's proposal. The council next discussed and approved a plan for food rationing. Oh, all these council minutes. Teleportation. Councilman Gordon began the meeting with a report on his team's research into human teleportation. If our ancestors had known it would take over 160 years to perfect, they never would have approved the research into teleportation. The early progress with teleporting photons led to false hope. Again and again, we always seemed to be one step away from the breakthrough we needed, but we finally cracked it. Wearing a receiver on the subject's chest, yesterday we successfully teleported a member of my research team from inside the vault to the surface above and teleported him back safely. This changes everything. We can now send scouts out to assess the habitability of the Commonwealth. Our first order of business should be to repair the antenna on the surface so we can receive and monitor communications from the outside world. The council discussed and approved Gordon's proposal, forming a scouting intel division hereafter to be known as Vault-Tech Recon. Scouting reports. Councilwoman Grayson began the meeting with a report on Vault-Tech Recon's scouting missions. As we hypothesized, the immediate vicinity of the vault is no longer dangerously irradiated, although the background radiation is still above safe levels for long-term exposure. Pockets of more intense radiation are common, and the surface water is not safe to drink. Scouts will need to carry supplies of Radex with them on all future expeditions outside the vault, but hazmat suits are unnecessary. Our old maps of the Commonwealth are largely useless. The Charles River no longer follows the course it used to, and the area surrounding our vault is a swamp. Nearly all pre-war roads have disappeared and are no longer passable. We heard rumors of super mutants, ghouls, and deathclaws, confirming the genetics team's hypothesis about mutation due to extended radiation exposure. The good news is that human civilization still survives. There are settlements at Fenway Park, now called Diamond City, Scully Square, now called Good Neighbor, and Bunker Hill. The old Initech military installation over near Millis, NA, survived and has been turned into a new Las Vegas-style tourist destination called Fusion City. Seemed like nice enough people, although their dress code could use some reevaluation. Isolationism versus trade. This is a lot of reading, I'm sorry. Oh, I need a drink. This council meeting has been called to decide the following issues: whether the vault should make its presence known to the Commonwealth and begin trade, or remain hidden; whether the council should inform the general vault population of the existence and extent of life on the surface, or maintain the current position that the surface is an uninhabitable, nuclear-ravaged wasteland with no realistic hope of existence outside of the vault. The council voted to maintain the status quo, keeping the vault closed and the general population unaware of life on the surface so as not to create panic and unrest, and to protect jobs from outside competition. The minority opinion summarized by Councilman Dawes noted the following: food stores will begin running low by the end of the century. Isolationism is not a sustainable long-term strategy, but better to engage the world now when we are not yet desperate for food and supplies and have a valuable technology, teleportation, with which to trade. Using fake radio transmissions to convince vault dwellers of the hopelessness of life on the surface will eventually backfire. The longer vault dwellers are involved in scouting missions to the Commonwealth, the harder it will be to maintain the illusion about life on the surface, leading to a class system of those in the know versus those on the outside, and potentially a police state as suspicion and dissension grows among the general vault population. The chairwoman thanked Dawes for sharing his unsolicited opinion, and the meeting was adjourned. The Sydney Incident. Overseer Elaine Redding has called this emergency council meeting to address what is being referred to as the Sydney Incident. On March 13th, a 3-person recon team was teleported to the Dunwich Borers Quarry to search for drilling equipment. Shortly after arrival, the team reported encountering a non-hostile civilian named Sydney, who was investigating the mine for paranormal activity. The events that followed are unclear. It appears that a group of raiders showed up at the top of the quarry and opened fire on the recon squad. Agents Stark and Tarley were taken out by Sniper, and we lost contact with Agent Tarth shortly thereafter. When Mission Control attempted to teleport the agents back to the vault, the only person who showed up was Sydney. She claims to have grabbed the teleportation transmitter off Tarth's body, and as a result, we teleported Sydney back instead of Tarth. Sydney was kept in a holding area while Mission Control contacted the Council to figure out what to do with her. As Sydney was the first surface dweller to infiltrate the vault since the Great War, there was no protocol to deal with such an event. Nor did Mission Control anticipate Sydney's lockpicking skills. She escaped the holding area and proceeded to explore the vault, talking to residents about life on the surface. By the time security realized Sydney was gone, reapprehended her and moved her to a more secure holding cell. She had already talked to dozens of residents. The Council is now faced with deciding the fate of Sydney and, by extension, reopening debate on the policy of remaining hidden to the Commonwealth and managing perception with vault residents regarding life on the surface. Overseer Redding and Councilman Pinkman have proposed the following plan: release Sydney back to the Commonwealth, reveal ourselves in open trade with the Commonwealth, share the entire story of life on the surface with the vault's population. Councilman Lincoln and Councilman Fring have opposed the opposite, arguing that opening trade with the Commonwealth presents too many risks, including but not limited to violence, radiation, and disease. Releasing Sydney back to the surface would potentially reveal Vault-Tech's existence to the Commonwealth, forcing our hand. The only safe option is to execute her. Overseer Redding maintains that the genie can't be put back in the bottle. The truth about the surface has already been circulated. The vault residents will want to see the surface for themselves. Attempting to deny the truth at this point would only lead to growing dissent, potentially requiring brutal enforcement tactics against their own people to squash the truth and maintain order. We've already built the machinery to turn the lobby area into a teleportation hub for travel throughout the Commonwealth. All we need to do is open it and begin trading. Doing so would eliminate the need for food rationing and restrictions on whom one can marry and when they can have children. We could use teleportation as the first step to rebuilding the Commonwealth. Lincoln reminded the Council that its primary duty is to protect the safety of the vault residents, that the standard of living in the vault, though far from ideal, is still higher than living standards in the Wasteland, and that opening the vault to potentially better armed Wastelanders threatens the vault's entire existence. I've been reading for so long. A vote of the Council has been called for tomorrow. In addition, Councilman Lincoln has cast a vote of no confidence in Overseer Redding. The motion has received sufficient support from other Council members to force a referendum vote on Redding's job as Overseer. Oh boy, referendum. The purpose of this meeting is to decide the following issues: whether Sydney should be released, detained, or executed, whether the vault will open trade with the Commonwealth, whether the full extent of life on the surface will be revealed to the vault residents, whether Redding or Lincoln will serve as Overseer going forward. Prior to voting, both candidates shall be permitted to make brief statements. As the challenger, Councilman Lincoln shall speak first. Councilman Lincoln: we're going to make this vault great again. Oh, Jesus. We'll start by rejecting Elaine Redding's plan to allow Wastelanders in and instead beef up our defenses. There are some real bad dudes out there in the Wasteland, and we're going to keep them out. Let's be real, folks. If the Commonwealth were to start sending their people here, they're not going to send their best. They'll send people who have lots of problems, and they'll bring those problems with them. I really appreciate this reference. They'll bring chems. They'll bring crime. They're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. All I'm proposing is a continued ban on Wastelanders entering the vault until all security forces can figure out what's going on, and the people support that. Any polls of our citizens showing otherwise are just fake news. I'm sorry, but the people want vault security and thorough vetting. We also need a more protective barrier to shield the vault, and I'll build it. I'll build a great barrier, and nobody builds barriers better than me, believe me. And I'll build it very inexpensively. I'll build a great, beautiful barrier over our vault entrance, and I will make Diamond City pay for it. Mark my words, it's going to be terrific. Frankly, Overseer Redding should be ashamed by her record. She should resign for not calling the surface threat from Raider super mutants and others what it really is: radical wasteland terrorism. Crooked Elaine has wasted a huge amount of vault resources trying to implement a failed public teleportation transport system that will do nothing except steal jobs and expose us to crime. It's a failed program, I hate to tell you, like seriously failing. She has not done a good job. She's been a very bad overseer, and she's been very unfair. And look at her face. Why would anyone vote for that? I mean, she's a woman, and I'm not supposed to say bad things, but really, folks, come on, are we serious? She's unattractive, both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man. He made a good decision. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I have so many fabulous friends who happen to be gay, but I'm a traditionalist. If Elaine Redding can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she could satisfy the needs of the vault? As the council who runs things, we should relieve Elaine Redding of her duties. I mean, look at her right in that smug, ugly face of hers and say, Elaine, you're fired. Overseer Redding replied, I think those comments speak for themselves. I won't spend a moment wondering what Don Lincoln means, except to point out that every Don Lincoln sentence has words. Sometimes 3 words, or 2, and they're great sentences, terrific sentences. That I can tell you, believe me, they're great, with the best words. Not very big words, but terrific repeated words. And maybe I'm getting under Lincoln's skin a little bit, because I do have the support of a majority of the vault residents. But I assume as council members, you're all smart enough to see the bigger picture. That trade and openness with the Commonwealth will make us prosperous. The council has heard the arguments and taken a vote. The results are as follows. Councilman Lincoln shall assume control as overseer immediately. The vault will remain closed to the Commonwealth. The status quo shall remain in effect with respect to disclosing the existence of life on the surface. Sydney shall be executed. Therefore, no further business. The meeting is adjourned. That sounded about right. Attempted coup. Overseer Lincoln has called this emergency council meeting to decide the fate of perpetrators of the failed uprising to reinstate Elaine Redding as overseer. Although Redding has denied any involvement with the attempted coup, she is being tried for treason along with the rest of the group. After several hours of deliberation, the council decided the following. While death is suitable punishment for treason, the vault cannot afford the reduction in gene pool diversity. The old animal research holding facility shall be converted to a prison. The conspirators of the group, including Redding, shall be imprisoned there indefinitely, except in cases where the vault's reproductive needs take priority. Vault security will be overhauled, and the Vault Tech Recon Division shall hereafter be known as Vault Tech Corporate Security, taking a more proactive approach to eliminating potential threats both in the Commonwealth and within the Vault. Public mention of life on the surface shall become an offense punishable by imprisonment. And open the door. Yeah, sorry, that was a lot of reading, but it was also a lot of lore. And apparently, in post-apocalyptic Boston, there's a Donald Trump figure. Go figure. And people fall for that stuff even here. So let's encounter some Vault Tech corporate security, shall we? Oh god. That's not horrifying. Hello. Vault Tech calling. Nice lobby.
Good morning. Vault Tech calling.
Are you kidding me?
You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. Not going to take too much of your time. I just need to verify some information, that's all. Need to make sure you're cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation.
I'm flattered to hear this, but I feel like there's more.
Oh, me too. You have no idea.
Stop being vague and just tell me what's going on. What do you want from me?
Why, nothing less than your entire future.
Sounds like nonsense to me.
Ha! That's the spirit. Now, let's see.
I want this place searched top to bottom.
How rude.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
He's actually a hologram. What the hell was that? Oh, there's a door back there. Hey. Oh, so these are the teleporters. Can I use these? Oh. I can't.
We need the key.
Ah. We need the Overseer key. So this is the teleportation hub.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Are you teleporting people then? You are.
Since you don't seem to be willing to do the world a favor and kill yourself, I guess
I mean, it's a good thing Ash went missing. It's not like I need combat firepower. Holy shit. Did you just teleport me without a beacon? Have you made advances in the technology? You put me in jail in power armor.
Oh no. Oh my god. This can't be happening. This isn't happening.
It's a good touch.
Come on,
For-
come on, come on. Oh god. Is there any way out of this?
Yeah, for her to be saying this is actually,
Never mind. It's hopeless.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Shit. I give up.
You gave up already?
I need to find a way.
Okay, well, I have bobby pins. Can I not pick this? Turpentine, flip lighter, pork and beans, fork, bowl, alarm clock. This is a toilet. We got some toilet paper. Metal bucket. Toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, teddy bear, vegetable starch, desk. Clutter. Wooden blocks. Bed. And we just got some barbells. They took all my power armor pieces off. Damn it. I mean, is this something I can only do outside of the armor? Oh god, I have no armor at all. I really don't know what I'm looking for here. They did a good job hiding it. Tactical barbell. That doesn't appear to be working. What do I do? Oops. Sorry, armor. Aha, I took all the things. The heck? The heck did I just do? Hey, let me out. You gave me the bobby pins, but I don't know where to pick. Oh. So I was right? Huh. Well then. There's where the teddy bear went. Minecraft. I don't think it's there. Maybe here. Or maybe not. Maybe here? Or here. Ah. There we go. Kill the guards, loot a prison key, free the prisoners, and get your stuff back. Surprise!
You crazy? Only opens with a key.
Shouldn't have left me with the armor. I can swing this barbell really fast. Oh, don't mind if I do.
I had no choice.
Are you okay? There we go. I don't know where the other lady went just now. Oh, there she is. Come on out. Just letting all the naked people out. Is this where you've got my stuff? No. Actually, no. Is it here?
Sweet.
go. Ah, could have read the prisoner records. Alright, well, while the prisoners are rioting, I can read the prisoner records.